What is the odds bet in craps? In my last video, I explained that the best bet in the casino is the odds bet in craps because there's no house edge on it. Let's give a quick crash course in craps basic strategy. I'm going to try to go quick and keep it moving, so if you're new to the game, don't feel bad if you have to watch this a few times before it sets in. The basics of craps is centered around the pass line. The whole object of the game is that you want the shooter to hit the point before throwing a 7. When the game starts, you place a bet on the pass line. The dice are given to the shooter, and they throw the dice until they establish the point. They establish the point by hitting one of these numbers listed on the table: 4, 5, 6, 8, 9, 10. When the shooter starts throwing the dice from the pass line, if they throw a 7 or 11 on the come out bet, they win even money on their bet. If they throw a 2, 3, or a 12, they lose their bet. In either scenario, you keep throwing until you establish the point. In this example, the player threw an 8, so the point is now an 8. The dealer denotes this by flipping the puck in the on position and placing it on the bet so everybody knows what the point is. Now the game is simple. The object of the game is to hit the point by throwing an 8 before the shooter throws a 7. If they throw an 8, they win their pass line bet. If they throw a 7, they lose their pass line bet. Any other number in this example is inconsequential, and you just keep throwing until you hit one of those outcomes. So this is where the odds bet comes into play. Once the point is established, if you're playing the pass line, you have the option of adding odds to your bet. You do that by placing chips behind the pass line in the open space. You're essentially doubling down on the fact that you think the shooter's going to hit the point by throwing that 8 before they throw the 7. So if that's the case, why not just put a bigger pass line bet down at the beginning of the game and forget about the odds altogether? The reason is because the odds is a better bet. There's zero house edge on that bet. In other words, it pays out better than the pass line bet. So if that's the case, wouldn't we want to stack as many chips as we could reasonably afford in the odds section? Statistically, the answer is yes. So the casino says not so fast. Just like any table game at the casino, the craps table has a minimum bet and a maximum bet. It also has a maximum odds bet, specifically for this bet. In the case of the Las Vegas Strip, the casinos adhere to what's known as 3, 4, 5x odds. This means, depending on which number you're betting on, you can bet 3 times, 4 times, or 5 times the amount of your pass line bet. An easy way to remember this is to start with the outer edge of numbers at 3x, the 4 and the 10, and work your way in towards the center one number at a time. As you go in, the 9 and 5 is 4x, and the 6 and 8 is 5x. Don't worry if you forget this, you can always ask the dealer and they'll help you out. Now that you've placed your odds bet, in this example the point is at 8, the maximum odds bet that we can place is 5 times our original wager. If the 8 comes out, we win even money on our first bet, and then we win 6 to 5 on our back bet. So you can see for the odds bet, we're actually getting an extra unit relative to the pass line bet. The payouts vary by number as well. It's a lot harder to hit a 4 and a 10 than a 6 or an 8. So you win more or less money relative to how easy or difficult it is to hit the number. Because avid craps players know how good this bet is, casinos will try to lure you there by giving you better max odds. If you venture off strip or downtown, you might find some places that give 10x odds, and some places even used to give 100x odds. So that's the odds bet in a nutshell. Remember always to get those odds in there, and if you can afford to max them out, go for it. Like and follow Ross's Boss for more Las Vegas tips and tricks. And that way, if anyone ever asks, you know the answer to the question,